Morning guys, and welcome to Milford Haven. So we're back here again, and it's about, I don't know, 8:30 in the morning, and it is already scorching. I'm in my undersuit already, sweating buckets, but it is absolutely glorious. I mean, I'm not going to show you the sun because that'll blind you, but look, not a cloud in the sky. We even get to see the moon all day today. So the skipper has just run a load of like scientists and twitchers at Tascoma, so we're just waiting for the boat to come back and then we can get loaded and get on with the day. Still absolutely no idea what we're diving today, but you know what, it's that nice. I really don't care, to be honest with you. It's super flat, there's not a breath of wind, it's absolutely gorgeous, so hoping for great things today. So we'll have a look on the boat when we get on there. All right, I'm gonna go drag all my kit down now. All right, see you in a bit. And this was the bit where you're expecting a bit of sexy dive footage, weren't you? Well, you're wrong. No, it all gone horribly wrong, and I need to explain. So, you might have remembered on my last video, I said I was going up for a midweek cheeky wolffish hunting. So I did do that, but the weekend before, we got one of our dive members, a new club member, he was desperate to learn to dive, and he was booked in with doing it via our old partner centre, who I shall just refer to as a dive centre in Leicester, shall we say. He'd booked on for months and months and months, and the chap is a big chap. He's bigger than me, so you know, a big chap. So he was very, very conscious, just like I was when I learned, that the school had a dry suit that fit him. So he deliberately checked with this particular centre and said, you know, this is what size I am, have you got a dry suit that fit? And he was absolutely reassured that they would have a dry suit that fit. So he had to wait sort of a couple of months to get on this course. Anyway, went down and off he went. So did his pool sessions, come to try on a dry suit. Surprise, surprise, they brought him out a 2XL Typhoon thing, which I think are made over in Japan, so they're like Japan sizes or something like that, so it's tiny. So it didn't fit. So the best that they could come up with is, well, you'll have to do your dry suit at another time. So anyway, a few panic phone calls. Best option was he borrowed my dry suit. Not normally something, I'll be honest, that I lend out. I knew my dry suit needed a new dry zip because the cord had gone. Now what I mean by the cord is, if you've seen a dry suit, guys, obviously you've got the dry zip on the back, or the front if it's a front loader, but mine's a back loader, so we'll say back. And basically the teeth are held on, they're sort of attached to a cord, and what sometimes happens with a dry suit, if you bend it too much, the cord snaps. Now this also happens just in the usual spots on your shoulders where you naturally flex, and that's what happened to mine. It's been on the suit for 5 years, so it was getting due anyway. So I knew the cord had snapped, but the seal was still intact, and as long as you were gentle, zipping it up, everything was hunky-dory. Anyway, he come up, tried it on. It wasn't a great fit, but it would have done him for the pool session because they promised to have him a suit the weekend after. He went off with the suit and rung me up on the Sunday and said, oh, look, I've told the instructor there's a bit of an issue with the zip. He's not happy with it, then we're not using it. So I was like, right, fine. That's the best I can do. They'll have to sort you out themselves. You know, you're paying them, get them to sort it. So anyway, he brought me back the suit. I dashed off up to Eyemouth on the Tuesday. Got all my kit on the boat, got everything ready, all good. We spent a night in the hotel the night before, you know, pissed 70 quid's worth of diesel, going up there and back, only to, you know, get all my kit on the boat, get into my dry suit, ask the lovely wife to zip me in, and she went, and the zip slider basically come off in a hand because they'd ragged the crap out of it. Even though this particular member had told the instructor to be careful with it, it was broke, they just absolutely ragged the crap out of it and mashed the seal, and like I say, half the slider was out of the zip, so it was knackered, 100% knackered. I needed a new dry zip. Now the only place I'll take it to is John at Otter, so I went flying from Eyemouth all the way back down to Bradford after having to pay the skipper his 50 quid, because after all I was on the boat. You can't get more last minute cancellation than actually putting your gear on the boat and having to take it off again, so incredibly frustrating. But I flew down from Eyemouth to Bradford and basically got on my hands and knees and said, please John, can this be fixed for Pembroke? You know, they pulled the stops out of the bag and they did do me the repair, put the new zip on, but the proviso was it wasn't going to be tested, okay? No pressure test. If I wanted a pressure test, I was told in no uncertain terms, you're back of the bloody queue. So what do you do? I took it with no pressure test, so off we went to Pembroke. Stayed in the hotel, got on the boat, went out. It was actually Stack Rocks is where we were diving. Jumped in and instantly felt that something was very, very wrong. My left arm was getting incredibly wet rather quick, so it definitely felt like it was coming in from a shoulder dump, which I'd previously not had any issue with. In fact, it had been replaced in January, just gone, because I took my suit in for a general service. I think I've spoke about this before. So it was pretty new. So I thought, oh, bugger, this is gone. So anyway, thought, right, well, we'll carry on with the dive. I'll just wind it closed. And then when I come to ascend, I can open it. And if I get a bit wet, then fine. Anyway, 10 minutes into the dive, it was clear that winding it closed hadn't solved the issue at all, because I was getting wetter and wetter and wetter. And when I actually started it feeling coming out my armpit and dribbling down my side, I decided that was probably enough. So I think we did some like 13 minutes, which was a bit disappointing. So anyway, back up on the boat, not a very happy chicken, and you know, investigations ensued. Basically what it turns out it was the shoulder dump. So what I did is on the boat I dismantled it, took it off, and I'm assuming that for replacing the dry zip they must take the shoulder dump off, because it had been put on, but it had been put on with glue around it, which I'm a little bit confused about, and I will check why that was done with John, because a shoulder dump is a compression fitting, okay? The rubber seals are glued onto the suit, but the actual mechanism itself is sort of tight fit, it seals itself. And what had happened is this glue that had been put on, it hadn't been tightened down properly. The glue had solidified and leaving really big gaps, and the water was actually tiddling in straight past the auto dump. So by the time I took it off, peeled all the glue off the rubber seals and off the actual dump itself, put it back together, tightened it up properly. Second dive was brilliant. The problem was, because I wasn't really sure about how things were going to pan out, because obviously it just filled up and I was concerned. I thought, right, I'm not going to take my camera and stress myself out. And we had a 70-meter dive and saw absolutely everything: prawns, shrimp, crabs, you know, jellies. I even saw my first sea hare, which I've never seen a sea hare in the UK before. I was like, that's brilliant. No photos of it, nothing. So absolutely garbage first day. And after 70 minutes, with a wringing wet undersuit, even though it was warm, I was properly chuffing frozen, I've got to be honest. End of the first day, we zip off, back to the hotel rooms, strip off, try and get everything dry as quick as we can for tomorrow. Okay, so we get a good day tomorrow. This is day 2. Morning everybody, we're here again, waiting for the boat to turn up. So I just dragged all the twins down the ramp, which is pretty steep. It's a good one. So we're off to the Smalls today, or we're supposed to be off to the Smalls today. Really excited, because apparently you don't get to go out that far that often, you know, unless conditions are really, really good, which they are definitely still today. But check this out. Yeah, there is a fair bit of fog, so you can't even really see the pier that's just over there. We'll wait for the skipper to turn up. He's just doing another run to take some twitchers over to one of the other islands, so he's just doing that and then coming back. So I guess we'll take a steer off him. I know if I was down here on the club rib, it'd be a no-go at the minute, because you just can't see. So if there's something out there to hit, you can guarantee I'd bloody hit it. But anyway, hopefully the skipper's a bit more knowledgeable than me, certainly down here. So yeah, should be good. Fingers crossed this lifts pretty soon and we get out to the Smalls. I'm really looking forward to it. There's a famous lighthouse out there that I'll get some photos for you. And it's supposed to be full of seals, which is good. and crawfish apparently are making a comeback. Love to catch one of them on camera as well, so that would be really nice, because they've just been super overfished for, you know, eons. We eat them all, so it'd be good to see one of those come back. So anyway guys, I will see you a bit later on the boat, hopefully when conditions have brightened up a bit. We've got a bit of sunshine and this sea fog has gone off and done one. All right then guys, I will see you on the boat. Apparently that's a hotel or something there. Not good if you just want to pop to the corner shop. Still pretty cool, isn't it? When we look back, look, if you have a look, just look at the bank of fog, so that's what we're in. Yeah, it looks like something out of a bloody J.R. Tolkien book. Just this bank of horrible, nasty fog. But anyway, we're out of it now, and if we have a look out to sea, you can see there is clear skies and clear seas. So fingers crossed, today is going to be an absolute cracker. Now again, you're probably expecting some good dive footage here, aren't you? Sorry. Yeah, so we were going out to the Smalls, as we've already said, and the Smalls is a good 2-hour steam, and conditions were forecast to be perfect. Now, you don't get out to the Smalls very often. We went all the way out there. We got kitted up, as you can see these photos. I'm ready to go. And then the skipper made the incredibly difficult decision to call it, because by the time we got out there, there was a north wind that had picked up, and it was, you know, it was swelly. It was swelly. Do you know what I mean? Dave, the skipper, absolute top guy, but you know what, to have the strength to call it, because he got 8 divers who were paying extra, who have just sat for 2 hours, can see the dive site. You know, the amount of pressure on him to let us get in was incredible. And he made the call, and you know what? He made the right call, because it doesn't matter what else happens, right? The most important thing of any dive weekend is you come home, okay? Coming home is far more important than getting in. Did the skipper make the right call? He made the call. We were all happy with it. You know, we could have dove somewhere guaranteed a bit closer into shore, but a lot of people that were on the boat were only on the boat because we were going to the Smalls, so they wouldn't have been there if it was someone else. It turned out to not be the right call, but I think it was the right call to go out there and do it, and it was definitely the right call to can the dive, because if the skipper's not confident about getting you back on the boat, then you know that's the end of it really. So anyway, we steamed all the way back in. By this time, Slackwater is like long gone, like long gone. So we did a little dive on Stockholm Island, took my camera, everything. Thankfully guys, the dry suit is sorted. That issue with the glue and tightening the shoulder dump up has sorted it, so I'm pleased that's done. But by the time we jumped in, obviously the tide was running like a train. There was literally nothing to see. Everything has sort of tucked itself away. It was not, you know, it just wasn't anything. So the whole weekend, for one reason or another, a bit of a bust. But, you know, that's just the way it goes. That is absolutely the way it goes. Did we have a fantastic adventure? Yes. Did I meet a great skipper? Yes. Dave is absolutely brilliant. Like the friendliest guy you will ever meet. You know, he was quite happy with girls coming on the boat for us, which was fantastic. Like I say, bacon butties on the first day. You know, the guy couldn't do enough for you. We had a good laugh. Did we get the diving in? No, we didn't know. Is it disappointing? Yes. Is it the way it goes? Yes. Okay, I am just having a bad run of luck. Okay, that's it. It's just the way it goes sometimes, you know. Fate is like, you're not doing it. And I'm like, please let me do it. No. I'm hoping I broke the back of it now, and I can actually get in and get some diving done and get you some footage, because it's really frustrating, because the dive season is like, you know, it's this far from being over. Do you know what I mean? I've got a couple more trips planned. That's it. Good trips. I'm not even going to mention them. I'm not even mentioning it. We're not giving fate the opportunity to shit on it for us, okay? So we're not mentioning it until it's too late. But yeah, so I've got a couple more trips that I'm hopefully going to get out on, and things are going to go pretty smooth. It is what it is, guys. And I know I keep saying this, and you must be thinking, Andy, why do you do it? And trust me, I ask myself that all the time. It's a lot of money and a lot of expense for a lot of time. Sweet FA, I've got to be honest, but it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. I'm just, you know, just on a run of bad luck at the minute. All I can do is apologise. You've got to laugh, because otherwise you'd punch somebody in the face, frankly. So it is what it is. All right then, guys. So anyway, I will see you at Capernwray in a little while. All right then, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.